Understanding self to understand others. You are an individual. You have a personality, a character, and that makes who you are. You live and come into contact with other people who have their own personalities and characteristics. Luke 2:52 says, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men." If we look at Jesus, he was fully developed in all essential areas of growth. In wisdom, that means psychologically, in mind and personality, basically the soul. In stature, physically, in body. Favor with God, spiritually. From childhood, Jesus got to learn about God. And then favor with men, socially. Jesus grew in his ability to relate to people. We too need to grow to maturity in all four areas in order to be able to relate to God and man effectively. We need to know our strengths and weaknesses and set goals to improve ourselves. James 1:21 says, "Therefore lay aside all filthiness and overflow of wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls." That is why understanding yourself is so important. Broadly speaking, there are four personality types: choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and the phlegmatic personality. I'm not going to go into detail about them now. Each personality has its positive and negative aspects. They are neither good nor bad, depending on whether you control it or it controls you. Let me give an example. A very sharp knife is needed to slice a tomato. A dull butter knife will not work. This same sharp knife can also cut your finger. The qualities which make a good businessman are often qualities which make for a poor husband. It is important to understand your personality and to use it to your advantage and as God desires. For example, Hitler was a choleric. Now this is a very strong, dominating personality. And in the enemy's hands, he killed the Jews. What if he were in the hands of Jesus Christ? He would have led many souls to Jesus. Never be overcome by your personality's power over you. Self-control is important for a well-ordered life. Once you understand your personality, it is important to submit it, the good and the bad, to God's control and let him guide the growth thereof. If we look at the disciples' personalities, Matthew, as a tax collector, he was detailed. That's a melancholy personality. Peter, with his sermon, he drew 3,000 souls to salvation, a sanguine. And then John, gentle, tender, and patient, probably a phlegmatic. James, the son of Zebedee, son of thunder. That sounds like a choleric. Jesus chose these diverse personalities because he needed them to fulfill his purpose. He needed Peter on the day of Pentecost and John on the Isle of Patmos to receive the revelation. God can use your personality for his glory. Now let's look at the personality of Jesus. He had a perfect blend of all four personalities and used them accordingly for specific situations. As a sanguine, his sermons drew many people to him. As a choleric, he visited the temple, then braided a rope, came back and overthrew the tables of the money changers. As a melancholy, his word is precise. He says exactly what he means and wants. As a phlegmatic, he has a lot of time and waits patiently for us to catch up. I really appreciate Numbers 14:18. The Lord is long suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. Magnificent. Self-deception is both subtle and very powerful. Therefore, it is important to have a sane and sober estimation of your personality and character. It is vital to evaluate your strong and weak points, to understand yourself, and to grow as Jesus did in your relationship with God and man. Understanding personalities can also help couples better understand each other and pinpoint potential explosive areas in a relationship. Can our parents understand their children? And in a work environment, to understand your clients, staff, or boss and how to manage them. For more information on our course on understanding personalities and my ebook on discovering yourself to understand others, see the details in the description below. Blessings.